Hello everybody and welcome to one of the most historic, well-regarded, legendary racing games of the century. It is of course Midnight Club LA, and this is Midnight Club LA Complete Edition. This is a game made by Rockstar, as of this recording, unfortunately the last Midnight Club game in the series, in what is one of the best racing series on the planet. And this game in particular is a game I sunk, I cannot possibly begin to tell you how many hours in. Just so many hours as a teenager spent in this game, whether it was single player or driving around and racing my friends in multiplayer. This game had it all. It was a more arcade version of something like a Test Drive Unlimited or what we would do today with Forza Horizon. This game was heaven, and definitely a series that Rockstar needs to bring back ASAP.
I was given your number by a mutual friend, Tony. He said you could hook me up.
What you looking for?
Something fast. You know, not too expensive, around 2 to 3.
And when you getting to town?
Day after tomorrow.
No problem. I know a guy who can sort things out. Tell me, can you drive?
A little.
Modesty. Interesting. You ain't gonna fit in around here.
And not sure I plan to. So where do we meet?
It's a fast food place on Sunset, right? It's an old train car. The joint is named Carney's. And keep your head down, man. Police are all over us at the moment.
So we get to pick our car. Some absolutely excellent choices here. Much like when you play something like Test Drive, you have to pick out and you get kind of a crappy car. Of course, these aren't necessarily that crappy. I love the 240SX and of course the Golf GTI, a absolute amazing car in my opinion. Like, unironically, I love this car. It is definitely the one I'm going to pick.
Nice car.
Thank you. What, so you book?
So they say.
What?
Man, don't tell everyone.
Trust me, man, I won't.
Man, you're funny. You're like Tony. You one of them funny East Coast guys, huh? You here to do stand-up?
No, are you?
Book doesn't need a stage. People laugh at him just walking down the street.
Whatever you say, Nikolai. Your girlfriend found me funny.
She did.
Ooh.
She was confused, wondering why you dressed like you're playing golf.
Cole! Man, shut up, y'all. Anyway, what you here for?
Race some cars, man.
What you mean, race some slow cars? There's a lot of kids hanging around down on the strip, right between Rodeo and Fairfax. Go race them. Then we'll talk.
Okay.
Good luck, homie. Come on, y'all, let's get something to eat. See if they could do me a burger low carb.
Enjoy. Hey, Buck.
Where are you, man? I thought you was ready to get busy. My man Henry's waiting for you on Sunset. When you find him, just flash your headlights.
Ah, the T-Mobile, what was that, Sidekick? Yeah, something very different from this game compared to their other major game at the time, GTA. You could actually advertise in this one.
All right, fool. We finna get it on. Meet me at the starting line.
Whatever you say, tough guy.
We're already there. We're already at the starting line. Perfect.
You talk a good game.
How
Let's see
are we supposed to beat this?
What it does is blow past you to the finish line.
All right. So yeah, lots of advertising in this game. You see the Apple with their classic iPod stuff. Best Buy is featured throughout the game. GameStop, because they used to be profitable back then. Godiva chocolate. A lot of weird sponsorships. Like, you don't think Godiva is particularly one of the brands that would be advertising, because who's buying Godiva chocolate that plays this game, I guess? And see, we're absolutely smoking this guy, actually. So, of course, this game... Ooh, a 7-Eleven. I forgot they were in the game, too. So, this game, of course, taking place in LA. Crap! This is, of course, was the next location for the GTA franchise, being Los Santos. And, you know, whenever I play GTA 5 or GTA Online, honest to God, I think about this game. Because there'll be times I'm driving like along the beach, let's say, and I'm like, oh, I remember this is modeled almost exactly the same like they did in Midnight Club. Their scaled down map was pretty close to what we got in GTA, honestly. So you can definitely tell the foundations of the Los Santos map are in this game, which is just crazy to think. Of course, you know, it is obviously modeled after LA, but, you know, with it being the scaled down version, we're going to take that victory. Crappy little GTI. I absolutely love the UI in this game with it popping up next to the car, as well as it doing that for the pause menu. I love that.
Look, I thought you might call.
Yeah? Sounds like you've been settling in. I've been hearing good things.
I need someone who's gonna give me a run.
Use your mini-map to help you navigate around the city. The arrows point you in the direction of the destination you've targeted, but it's up to you to choose your route.
So if we look at the map here, you can tell obviously we don't get to go into, you know, anywhere else. You can definitely see a lot of similarities on how they scaled down their map of LA with how they did it for GTA as well. Now, one thing I do remember about this game is there was in online. I forgot, you need to get gas in this game, don't you? Oh, refill your nitrous. That's what it is. No, you don't have to get gas. That's Mafia 2, I'm thinking of. Yeah, you have to repair your car, get new nitrous. I forgot about that. As part of the Rockstar Club, or whatever it's called, or whatever it was called back then, it had challenges. And one of my favorite vehicles of all time is the Audi R8. And the only way to unlock it back then, maybe even now, I don't even know if you can get it in the game now, but it used to be the only way you could unlock it, was through online. You had to do a certain amount of challenges before you could unlock it. Unfortunately, I never got there because you had to drive an insane amount of miles to get there, and unfortunately, I could just never get there. Is that the... Oh, that was a race to the race. I was about to say, that is really easy. So it is unfortunate we never got that I never got that opportunity to get that car. I don't know if it's in the complete edition. I doubt it. Unless Rockstar added it all these years later because it's no longer available since the online servers for this game are gone. Oh, right, we're running into everybody. Although, of course, at the time, this is also when I first started playing GTA, so it was always weird to me coming to the game, driving on the sidewalk, and everybody missing you, just because it's not what you were used to when you played a Rockstar game. I do remember... Woo! I do remember one of the things that, when I first started playing this game, as well as GTA 4, one of the things that shocked me is just how different the handling models were for games made by the same company. You know, you look at GTA 4 and those cars are really heavy, very top-heavy, can flip easily. But in this, it's very, very light, very grippy, very drifty, kind of not as... It's more floaty than the GTA 5 physics, but you can definitely tell it's more like that than the GTA 4 ones, because again, the GTA 4 ones were just so heavy, while this is definitely much lighter on its feet. This guy is all up on us here. And I love that you can pull up the whole map like that just by pressing up. But yeah, this is a game that, you know, I don't think at the time anyone realized this would be the final Midnight Club entry, which is a shame because this is such a fantastic game. And I don't know why Rockstar decided not to do it, probably to focus on, you know, GTA 5 or the GTA DLC at the time, and I guess work on Red Dead as we are at the Chinese restaurant.
seriously, homie, 5-0 was all over my ass.
Yeah, man, they're chasing all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so y'all the real deal, huh, homie? Real street. Okay, anytime you want to race with some slips, come on down to the beach then.
And what did it be like last time? When one of your friends refused to give up his car?
Man, hold up, man. Put some brakes on that. First of all, he wasn't no friend of mine, more like a business associate. And second of all, I think he felt that you offended him.
Whatever. Yo, what's up, man?
What's up?
I gotta get on up out of here, man. I'll talk to you later.
Later, Lester. This my boy, give it up. Oh, man, we gotta work on that.
So have you, man.
And you gotta work on shutting your mouth, fool. Man, I knew Tony was right. You can drive. You keep that up, you just might make a name for yourself.
Yeah, you know what? Trevor and his boys race out of this parking lot. Go race some of the locals, then I'm sure they'll let you roll with them.
Hey, man, I was gonna tell him that.
Hey, thanks. And I need a mechanic. You know someone?
You should speak to Carol.
Yeah, my man Carol.
Yeah, his man Carol. He's got the best shop and private dealership in town. It's on Sunset in Old Hollywood.
Cool, thanks.
Races are marked on your GPS map with unique icons. You can tell how difficult a race is by the color of the icon.
I like that. And also see with the Camaro concept. I forgot this is back when the Camaro was a concept vehicle. So we're gonna go to the auto shop. I think one of the other things is, you know, not only could they advertise, you could use real street names, you could use all that stuff. It's amazing how, you know, one company has to make two properties so very differently. This being, you know, the same place that GTA 5 would take place, yet it can't share any of that stuff with it. Well, we hit you anyway, so... Where is this? Oh, Hollywood Auto. Here it is. A little hard to find. How do we get in here? Am I supposed to drive in somewhere? Is it this side? Is it like the auto shops in GTA 5? Yes, it is.
I'm telling you, Jeff, the ignition timing is off.
I'm working on it.
Your books, buddy?
Yeah, I guess.
It's too tight. You don't look like a trust fund baby masquerading as a movie producer. Why on earth you hanging out with him?
We've got friends in common.
Fair enough. No kind of good taste, eh? What can I do for you?
You tell me?
This is a full-service shop. Performance, body, lights, paints, vinyl, whatever you want. I can also get you new rides. Serious rides. No waiting list.
Great, man. Thank you.
Hey, there was just a guy in here, Martin. Also a friend of Book's. At least he was till he got bored with the scene. Or any scene. Nothing organized. That's his new vibe. Said he'd be on the strip in a red Chirac. You interested?
Maybe.
Fair enough. I'll see you around. It's too tight.
Whatever, Papi.
I just want you to know, I have the audio volume for voices turned all the way up and music turned down, and at least to me, it sounds like the voices are getting drowned out by the music. So, just like in GTA, you gotta repair your vehicle before you can do anything else. We do have customization, just like GTA. You know, I don't know if this is where the groundwork was laid for GTA 5 in terms of customization, because obviously GTA 4 didn't have that, San Andreas didn't have that. We didn't have that until GTA 5. So this was really the first game that had this, and you can see, obviously, nothing like what we have in GTA 5. This is more of your classic, you know, games from back then in terms of how you would upgrade and manage cars. We're going to go ahead and upgrade, because we got the cash. So why don't we upgrade the nitrous and exhaust. And we'll go ahead and upgrade the tires too, because again, we got the money. Might as well spend it on the car. It's going to be a while before we can really buy another car, so why not? Oh, I forgot you could do wide body on this car. What an interesting thing. There was just so much customization into the interior as well. different steering wheels, which I absolutely loved, because if you wanted to make a car more like a GT racer or something, you could do that by doing stuff like the Sparko or a Momo. Let's see what else we got. We got different gauges we can install. Those are currently locked. Different front seats to make it more of a racing deal. I'm gonna go ahead and install some lovely Momo seats, so our guy's nice and cushy there. Different spoilers, bumpers. Man, this game has just so many options. And you know what? Because we're fancy, we're gonna throw a little spoiler on the car. Why not? So go ahead and back out of that. So pay and check out. We're down to $300, but you know what? That's fine. We're gonna go race some people, make some more money.
Remember, keep an eye on your radar. The cops know what's going on and they trying to shut us down.
I love that. So, you know, GTA 4, you get in trouble for causing trouble. This game, you get in trouble for traffic laws. Which, you know, sometimes I wish was in GTA just because it would, you know, just be something else. It kind of would remind me of doing this, or, you know, make it a little more realistic experience. So I do like that. Most of the time you can race and drive to the starting line, but you can't, of course, if the cops are near. And I like that it takes that into consideration. Hold down the E-brake to get a nice boost. Use our nitrous. We'll pull away here. Now, talking about the series itself, Midnight Club, could it make a comeback today? You know, taking a look, it very well could. I think there's demand for a Midnight Club. Obviously, open world racers have been having a moment. The most well-known one currently, of course, being Forza. You know, we do have the Crew, but Ubisoft has not made a Crew game in a long time, and the Crew 2 is getting pretty old at this point, which I'd consider its nearest likeness in terms of its handling and modifications and stuff. Of course, we do have a new test drive coming out. See how that does. I hope it really does well. As you know, if you've seen my channel before, I am a huge Test Drive Unlimited fan. So to me, there's no reason they couldn't bring this back, because Midnight Club's a very well-known IP. Rockstar, of course, one of the best-known gaming companies in the world, definitely one of the most profitable. Because this is a very easy race, just like our mini-map said. You know, so there's no reason it couldn't from a commercial standpoint. I think it'd be very successful. But unfortunately, I just don't know if Rockstar wants to. You know, they're supposedly working on GTA 6, although, you know, we're yet to hear anything about that. Of course, they're still working with updates for GTA Online and Red Dead Online. They just finished the remaster, they are calling it. I wouldn't call it that, of the GTA trilogy, because it didn't turn out that great. I suppose it's gotten better now. However, I haven't really heard anything about it, but it was just okay when I played it at launch. So I don't know if they want to, or if they even care to do it. Now, one of the things that was cool about this is it did have series too. You know, it wouldn't just be one-off races. You did have series to do with different standings and stuff. So that was cool. Sometimes it was just about winning the race, and sometimes it was about being consistent across multiple races, which is always a nice, you know, a nice change. You know, we kind of have that in terms of, you know, like Forza Horizon. There are some that are just one-off races and some that are more series. However, it feels like it leans pretty heavily on the series, with the standalone races being more show-offy, or, you know, special events with the heavily scripted, you know, tank, plane, bike, whatever you're driving.
Build up your boost. Hang on and then let it loose.
So, like every good arcade racer, it's got to have a draft. Oh, function. Made that barely work there. But, you know, back when this game came out, I think what separated it, you know, its biggest competition was Test Drive Unlimited. And Test Drive Unlimited, I'd say, was more of the Gran Turismo, with this being the Forza of the age. Now, what I mean by that is, Gran Turismo was the love letter to cars. It was very focused on being, very serious, while, still, having fun and everything. It was more focused on that authentic car experience. It was focused on the details. It was focused on the worlds and the cars around it. Which Test Drive Unlimited was. It was very focused on that. It was, very detail-oriented. Of course, it had an entire island from Hawaii. So, it was very Gran Turismo in that sense. While this game was more Forza Motorsport to me. And, I mean like classic Forza, not really current Forza. Where it was about, the customization of cars. It was about, having, different types of cars to do instead of, focusing on a few really good ones. It was like, while they were still good, of course, both Forza and here, it was more about having variety and having different things you can do, different options for tuning and all that sort of stuff. And it was more focused on the fun and not necessarily the realism. While Turn 10 Studios will always claim they cared about realism, let's be honest, they never have, at least not since Forza 3. But to me, that's always what this game has been like. It's been more about the fun, it's been about the tuning, and just, doing whatever you want, having fun with the racing. And that was just something that was very different from Test Drive Unlimited. Of course, if it came back today, Forza Horizon, very focused on the customization as well as having spectacular maps. They have really knocked Horizon out of the park, especially with Horizon 5, the team at Playground Games. So that would be tough to go up against. And like I said, you have the Crew 2. While it very much has the same sort of handling physics and, stuff like that, again, it's pretty old at this point. It's showing its age. I don't know if Ubisoft has plans to continue it. So, it's not necessarily something that they would need to concern themselves on. So I think the main thing they'd have to worry about would be Forza Horizon if Rockstar wanted to bring this back. One thing, I tell you, I love about this game that you only get in a couple race types in Forza. It's when you're doing the off-road stuff. Is I love that you can make the routes as you go. There's a checkpoint, and how you want to get to that checkpoint, up to you. There were definitely some races in Test Drive Unlimited that are like that. Take underneath that building, there's a little shortcut. And to the line, victory. That's got to be the end of the series, right? We did 3 races. So yes, it was the end. So if you... Ooh, hello. Hold the handbrake and gas. Okay, thank you. I already knew that. So yes, your cell phone was used to give you tips, which I love. That is a very sharp turn. Of course, you can see we're kind of at the edge of the map. And they kind of just barricade it so you can't get past, unfortunately. But for a game that's however many years old this is, it still looks fantastic. One of the things, and this has always been a problem with Rockstar Games, because Rockstar has always pushed the technology and graphics and whatever they can as far as possible. One of the things I remember from this game, growing up playing it, is if you were in a fast car, if you were driving top speed down the freeway or something, sometimes you were ahead of it rendering. You would sometimes be driving along nothing because the game had not rendered itself yet because it just couldn't keep up with the speed. And that's an issue that's in GTA 4, and it's always an issue Rockstar's had just because the technology wasn't where their ambitions necessarily were for a map. Now, luckily, that's not an issue with modern stuff. So, if you had a game today, Rockstar could definitely make this an incredible looking racing game, considering how incredible their physics are for GTA. Now, while there was a lot of advertising and a lot of rights, you can see not all of them were given rights. This is the famous Sports Center. Non-distinct Sports Center with the... Is that the actual LA Kings logo? Wow, the LA Kings are actually in this game. That is insane. I don't know why, but that just struck me as a surprise. I never noticed the LA Kings.
Hello? Hey, it's Scotto. Hey, listen, when you compete in harder races, the layout opens up. Less checkpoints, more choices, more ways to lose. But you can also win more money and earn more rep. I know you're obsessed with reputation.
I love that. More advanced races mean more openness, more challenge. I think that's perfect. I think that's what more racing games really need. Because I am trying to get out of the area because the police are responding. I don't think they know where I am though, so I think we're good because there are no cops around. Of course, you know, this isn't, you know, GTA where they'll start shooting me at least. So we park it on the baseball field and they give up the pursuit. So, assuming these are tennis courts, they just don't have the net up? Anyway. So, you know, this was just a very short look at a classic game just to, you know, go over it and, you know, talk about the game, where it could go now, and if it'll ever come back. Like I said, I'm not holding my breath for it to come back. I would absolutely love it, but, you know, unfortunately, I don't think Rockstar is very interested in bringing it back as we head to the LA Coliseum. Very fitting, of course. Well, if this isn't the LA Coliseum, it's something very similar. Yeah, this is the LA Coliseum. As we get ready, of course, for the NASCAR Busch Clash. So yes, the police do come onto the field. The reason it surprised me is because, again, the last game I played like this was Test Drive Unlimited. And the Test Drive Unlimited police were notorious for not following you off-road, so you could very easily lose the cops by just going off-road. That was fixed for Test Drive Unlimited 2. But real fast, this is something I think more racing games of this style need nowadays. Of course, Forza doesn't want to include law enforcement, it makes sense, but I think it's such a cool thing that's needed, is, you know, the whole underground street racing scene. It needs to have cops involved with that, and I absolutely love it. In fact, I remember in Test Drive Unlimited 2, I thought that was going to be a ramp. Oh no. Test Drive Unlimited 2, you could actually be a cop to stop other players. Is that Test Drive Unlimited, or am I thinking of The Crew? I might be thinking of The Crew. If it's The Crew, ignore me on that, but if it was Test Drive Unlimited, I knew I was right. Oh, man. Now, of course, in Test Drive Unlimited, it had different meter levels and stuff. You know, when we get to the higher stuff, different tactics would be laid out in front of you. As well as the old Need for Speed games having that, when, you know, when it came to Most Wanted and stuff. Oh, man, gotta try to lose the cops here before we get rid of it. And again, this is just such a cool feature. And again, it's not like GTA 4 cops where it was, you know, escape from the bubble and you'll be fine. This was, you actually have to get away from them. Again, another thing you would see in GTA 5. I'm not saying Rockstar took inspiration of this game to GTA 5, but it's at least how I see it. Holy crap, that was a cool jump. And we are leaving them in the dust. Damn right you don't see them. However, the sirens are very loud. I don't know if it's because we're under bridges or something, but the sirens still sound like they're... So we're actually going to get on the freeway, which I remember spending just hours upon hours upon hours on this freeway, driving around trying to rack up those miles to get the Audi R8. Alright, and we evaded the cops. You know what's crazy is I feel like this has more traffic than frickin' GTA 4 did. Wonder why. Or it might just be in my head that I was imagining this game has more traffic. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Again, a fantastic game. It is available on the Xbox Store if you want to play it, or if you have a copy, it's backwards compatible. Not sure about PlayStation or Steam for that matter, but I know for a fact, because again, I am playing this on the Xbox Series X. But a fantastic game, taking a look back and talking if Rockstar could ever bring it back. I'm not holding my breath, but a girl can dream. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more racing and classic gaming content. Bye!
These guys like to keep things on the freeway. Flash him and the race starts from a row.
Yeah, of course you tell me about it now when I end the frickin' video.